We are live. We're back again on camera. Let us know if this thing is acting more normal again. So, um, yep. Moving on to the next bullet list. Actually, this has not what I was trying to remember before, but somebody had asked earlier, and I apologize for not getting to it till now. Asked about the Unity upgrade to from 2018 to 2021. Yes, it's still our intention, and I still need to do a lot of uh, data center work to get that done. We've this is just there's nothing really new since the last time I updated, but I'm going to give the update anyway because obviously you guys might not have been there. Uh, we've added hard drive space. Chris and I met down there and we worked on the servers. The 18 ounce sledge um, uh, helped a lot. But we replaced some hard drives, added some new hard drives. So now I have to go in there and start moving some servers around virtually and see if that'll improve things. It sounds like Twitch is screwing up here, guys. Um, hmm. But
Nope.
well, what worst case is that the VOD will be okay for everybody to watch. But I think unless it gets really bad, I want to definitely do the drawings. And man, we're only like halfway through the stuff to talk about. That's making me upset. Um, so the Unity upgrade is still on the table, and I do not have a time frame for it because I need to get our database servers migrated. I need to change some hardware around and establish some new build machines that are dedicated to 2021. I know this is going to sound like the same old story from last year, but that's exactly where we are. Obviously, we had to refocus efforts on other stuff. Uh, but I'm trying to get that back into the forefront of of development. This kind of ties into some of the stuff that I'm trying to do to change our cycle. As I said earlier, part of my methodology was to slow the devs down, which worked great for Sanyo. He made comments and he's even said it on stream that when he started working on Viclin and Grusk Factory and stuff along those lines, that he started finding that he was getting into the deeper into the details and spending more time on fleshing out the scene more.
Hmm.
This is if anything, other studios need to learn from this. Stop trying to push stuff out the door so quickly, and you'll have a better product. I think it's obvious, right? I've been a programmer for 35 years, and I never released anything that had more than maybe one bug in it or something like that, and those bugs are ones that I did not find. Um, in fact, in my just to say something towards my work ethic, I'd send out software to beta test with a focus group. They'd come back and say, "Oh, it looks great, everything's fine." And as soon as I actually relaunched it again and took another thing, I'd find the bugs. So I don't know what to tell you. But the point here is that it's the same thing with all this is that I need to things are a little bit slower, but they're more methodical, and we're not having crashes, we're not having bad patches and things along those lines. So um, definitely in a lot better shape than we were before. So I am going to pull. We're going to do some drawings here because if Twitch is going to keep on throwing up all over itself, I want to make sure that we have done some prizes. And then I'll pick up
Ah,
back where I left off here. Um, yeah. So, all right, we'll scroll down. I got to do one more here while we're doing this. So, as is the tradition, somebody reads the names and somebody else reads the prizes. Do we have
And
any?
somebody makes it daytime again.
And somebody does what?
Makes it daytime again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm waiting for this task to finish here, and so I can click on a button. All right, now I'm there. Okay, it is now 11 a.m. again. Okay. All right, so we are ready to go. We have 4 prizes to read off, and or I should say 4 sets of prizes. What Sanyo and I have been doing recently is that like the first prize is a garden leprechaun, right? So we'll announce the prize and then we'll read off all 4 winners, excuse me, of that prize. So any takers for um,
Well, so I mean, I might be able to read something off if I can have something to read. I don't have anything in front of me I can look at to read.
Gotcha.
I mean,
It's in Mattermost.
Yeah, it's in Mattermost in the live stream channel.
I see where it says prices, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how are they to be read off, for instance?
Well, scroll down and you'll see where it actually starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the actual prizes. The prize bot
Okay.
at the bottom.
No, I don't have any of that, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right, no worries. Then
Here, let me.
yeah.
I'll send you. This should put it directly on your screen, and then click
Okay.
that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't loading the rest of the channel for you, but that resets it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mattermost is not always the best. All right, so yeah, so Scottie, do you want to pick up one of these? Read the prizes or the characters?
I will try to read the character if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
That's
you'll
always
read
fun.
the prizes.
Oh, you'll read the prizes? Okay, cool.
Sure.
Awesome. I'll just sit back and relax for once.
So the initial prize is a garden leprechaun.
And that goes to Falcon Minamoto.
And then go to the next row. Who won the next garden leprechaun?
Oh, so we'll go down to the next.
Do all of them.
Oh,
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
So that next one then goes to Dyer von Satan.
No.
No, well then, so I don't know what you're talking about then, because
Okay.
that's the only list I have.
Are you in the live streams channel?
I'm in the place it took me the moment you showed me. So what I
Okay.
see is prize 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right are 5 different names.
Right, and below that there should be another prize 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nope.
Huh. Even if you try to scroll down?
Yeah, no, I'm scrolled down. Like it took me to like Stian, the thing that you sent me took me to where I'm now looking at your thing that
Right.
the message
I sent you a private message and you're looking at that.
I'm looking at that.
But then you click the link that's right below my name.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
And that will take you back to the live stream channel and force it to reload.
Got it now. So you're going to go down to all 4 of the garden leprechauns, correct?
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
Yep.
So forget what I said. And the second garden leprechaun goes to Vulcan Sith.
Yes.
And go ahead and say the third one and the fourth one too.
The third garden leprechaun goes to Rocco. And the fourth garden leprechaun goes to Elwyn Moon.
Excellent.
And then the second prize is a leprechaun bowler hat with shamrock.
The first one goes to now the name that I said before, Dyer von Satan. The second one of those goes to Daneron Krenshesban. The third of those goes to Dutarm Teru. And then the fourth of those goes to Bainstein.
Very cool.
And the next prize is a pot of gold.
The pot
Deco
of gold.
only, of course.
Oh, Deco only, yes.
Yeah.
The first one of those goes to Hearn Donjon. The second one of those goes to Arya Blood Moon. The third of those goes to Flaith Nightstalker. And the fourth of those goes to Odin Dasgard.
And the next prize is a set of tabletop cherry blossom trees.
The first of those goes to Henry Fletcher. The second of those goes to Helier de Roque. The third of those goes to Vizant. And the fourth of those goes to Kirpnik's Caliper.
You're never going to volunteer to read the names again.
Oh, I don't mind. It's a challenge. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm probably butchering them, though.
The last
It's
prize
all-
is a clover paver set.
All part of
And
the fun.
this is the original one that had its graphics updated this release.
Oh, good. Okay. The first of those goes to Taylor Silverstaff. The second one of those, once again, another win by Dyer von Satan. It's von Satan, of course, von Satan.
Yeah, Von Sater.
And then the third of those goes to Stymie Savage Fury, and the fourth of those goes to Aurelius Silverson.
Excellent.
There you go.
Congratulations to everybody who won. And we only had one duplicate, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. And I still don't really. I mean, obviously, the last name of that is von Satan. But what I'm wondering how that very first name should be pronounced.
Yeah, that's a lot of vowels in a row.
Yeah, Dyer.
Dyer, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dyer.
Not sure. I think there's only one person who knows.
Yes, Dyer von Satan.
Yes. There you go.
Very cool.
Dyer.
I think that might actually be two words. D as in the, and then Iyer, which I would have to use Google Translate to figure out what it is.
Oh yeah, Dyer.
E something von Satan.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Probably shouldn't dig into it too deeply. We might end up having to change their name.
Well, if you say it 5 times, then they actually appear in the mirror and try to murder you. So.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, that's an interesting euphemism. I got it. We're just gonna leave that alone.
I figured it's gonna be something like that. Okay, so going back to my rambling, where I was, I added 6 maps this time around. Wanted to add more, but I ran out of time. So I only have a handful of in-game maps left to add, and then that part of the project will be finished. Of course, there's still graphic issues and stuff that could be done there. From the first maps that I did until the last maps that I did, there is definitely a difference in quality. So there's 400 maps. So
Wow.
it definitely, even going back to do a second pass. This is like painting the George Washington Bridge. They never stop. It's they start on one end of it, takes whatever period of time. I think it's actually a number of years to get across to the other side, and then they just start over again. So that's pretty much the mapping system at this stage. The one thing that I have identified as being an issue with that I cannot currently get around is the fact that when I take the screenshots for the maps, because I don't play the game to do it, I'm doing this in the editor, that Unity itself is forcing LOD on me. So a certain percentage of the decorations and trees that we do want to show up on the map are not showing up on the map, and I don't have the ability, at least immediately, to fix that. So if I ever get to that point and we could actually fix that, it's the painted on trees, the ones that are painted onto the terrain, Scott.
Oh,
Yeah, they just it's built into the engine. Looked it up. It's a known issue. I'm kind of hoping that maybe 2021 has better settings for this, but based on what I was reading in the Unity forums, that they have not fixed it. They don't care. So I got to find another way to do that. And if I can, then there are definitely some maps, I'm sure players have seen this, where they look barren. And that's because all of the deco, the painted on trees and shrubs and stuff, are being culled. And
and
there's
when you
nothing I
say
can do it.
painted on, I'm not sure. What does
Oh
that
well,
mean in this?
when you're doing scene building, right? If you're doing world building, there's a palette, and you can say I want trees, and you just you know
Oh, the
paint.
brush that lets you. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're painting on the trees as opposed to placing prefabs. And we
Yes.
we do have a mixture of those in all of our scenes.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. Let's see now. So I did want to acknowledge the winners of the Best Dressed in New Britannia contest. We had a wonderful event in Mount Madeir. Mount Madeir is our official in-game scene where dev events will be held. We still might hold dev events in other places, but for the most part, Mount Madeir will be the official place. Lainey spent a lot of time in putting together a hall for the fashion show with a runway and marvelous deco and everything. And I could go there now because actually we didn't show this to players until the event. So, guys, I'll be back at Casaletos, but I'm going to run over to Mount Madeir right now. Yeah, it's still open, right? So, Madeir. Um, And so I'll give you a little walkthrough of what Lainey put together for the fashion show. And while we're waiting on that, basically we have all the folks who are entered into the contest are now considered fashionistas, and the winners we had a tie for third place. Strider Green and Vulcan Sith took the third place title for that, and then Lilybird took second place, and Nerthus took first place in the thing. Now, this is the first event that I've actually emceed like this, so as usual, I still have to learn from my mistakes, and I did not take enough screenshots. That I would have liked to have been able to post up and say, and here's Nerthus, and here's so I apologize to everybody actually who participated. There is a screenshot of all of the contestants up on the stage in the forum post that talks about it. But sadly, I could have done a little bit better, I think, with individual shots, so that way the winners could show off and stuff like that. So I apologize, but we'll do better on next time. This is the location here, and as you can see that the ambiance is unbelievable. I mean, this is terrific.
And of course, Lainey put her new flamingo down.
Yes, yeah. This location qualifies for a Laney Flamingo. So, and I don't know if she's broadcasting the whole thing about that. So I'll leave that be, and I'll let her, be the one to discuss all that stuff. But if your lot gets a Laney Flamingo, then there's a reason. So, yeah, so even these spotlights and everything, this is really came out wonderful. Get it here. The only thing we need to do, and this is going to be something that we need to get new risers. I know that there are other risers in the game, but we definitely need to get some more variations on this stuff that look better than these wood boards and things. So this was our runway, and the three judges hung out here. The three judges were um, Laney and Allium and myself. And of course, Mount Madeira is currently open to players, so you can go to the scene and check it out. There is a fast travel sign right at the where you come into the pot, so you could click on that and come right to the venue and check it out. So downstairs, we had the dressing rooms and everybody set up in here. So this was took an unbelievable amount of time, and the detail is incredible. Very proud of it. I think Laney did an awesome job. So there you go. Okay, so let me head back over to Castle Atos. And we can move on. I should end up exactly where I left off. So along the lines of the Unity upgrade, which again is still on the plan and still in progress, I just need to get all this other prep work done. Obviously, we're shorthanded as far as personnel is concerned. Chris is not actively working physically on any of the tech, so I am the only one who has to balance. I'm balancing between doing dev work, builds, and making sure the itemization is done on a monthly basis, and I am also the one who has to go down to the data center and get all these things moved around so that way I could basically make way for updates, upgrades, and expansion so we can start the next 10 years and get all that done. That's pretty much where we are. I mean, it's been 10 years, so now, servers have to be updated, hardware, hard drives have to be replaced, software has to be updated, licenses have to be redone. There's a whole bunch of work that needs to be done, getting there. And I think the thing that I had forgotten before was that we're working to make some changes that go hand in hand with yeah, this is exactly what I was going to talk about before. So the first part is saying to the devs, okay, take your time, get things done, make sure, they're done, well and properly before, sending them out into production. The other half of this is we need to get rid of the monthly release. Oh, I heard it's collective sigh. Oh, no, 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 don't worry. So, basically, it's like right now we have about 2 weeks every month to do development work, and then all the development work has to be frozen for 10 days, 7 to 10, yeah, about 10 days, 9 days, while we do the builds and release and get it out to you guys. The things that make us absolutely have to have a monthly patch are the subscriber rewards, login rewards, and sales. So I worked with Devil Cult, gave him specs, he coded up some stuff, and it still needs some looking at, but the subscriber rewards and the login rewards can now be scheduled ahead of time. So, and this goes into what I was saying before, that we're working on stuff and we're starting to populate items out into the future, months ahead, hopefully like 6 months and 3 to 6 months ahead. So, hey, John Marcus, thanks for subscribing. I was
Hey,
talking about you
set to game
earlier.
time again.
Okay, sure. And get that out of the way. Basically, what we're looking to do is get it where the game knows what this month's rewards are going to be, next month's rewards, and so on and so forth. So that way, I don't have to build a patch specifically. Which, whenever I have to build a live patch, everything has to stop. all the development work has to stop because I can't risk any of the untested stuff or partially done stuff bleeding into the live server. And again, a reminder that, let's say 5 years ago, approximately, this would happen every so often. So we've changed, over the years, we were changing procedures and stuff to fix that up. And we're in a place of stability now because of these procedural changes. So the only way to effectively get a good amount of new content and new tech work done is to stop having to stop every month and do this. In short months, we're literally just doing development for about 10 days, 10, 11 days. And then the rest of it's spent doing all the maintenance work of getting it all up and running. So, uh, Devil Cult has gotten code written for the login rewards and the sub rewards. The next thing we're going to tackle are the code of the Crown Store sales. So not only will this allow me to pre-schedule the sales out for the events, like the 15th to the 21st, that's going to I have to patch the game twice now during March because I don't have any way to pre-schedule that stuff. And that obviously causes problems with us trying to get things done.
Although it's convenient for the green water.
Well, this is true. But that's the thing. In theory, I could schedule the green water the same way we schedule Krampus. So,
yeah.
These are the things that we need to do. Quality of life for us that needs to be done. Once those things are in place, then we could go into a true quarterly release cycle. So now, again, I hear it. Stop. The quarterly release cycles for new content. That doesn't mean that critical bug fixes like these the teleporter bug, right? That was definitely intrusive into the game. Once we figured out how to do it, it would be silly of us to say, "Hey, we figured that out on day 3 of our 90-day cycle, and we're not going to patch that into the game for another 2.5 months." We would still go ahead and do patches every so often when we have fixes for things that break the game. This is actually bringing us more in line of a AAA game. This is the way that AAA games do their cycles. In fact, some of the games will do a 6-month dev cycle for content, or even a year, depending on where they are and what game it is. But they'll still do a weekly reboot you'll still have downtime on a weekly basis. So right now I'm weighing this, and I guess again, just by doing what I did, this cycle, yesterday's release, release 123, was a quarterly release for me. Meant that I did more stuff during that release. We got everything back up and running by 10:30, and this is why I started doing my release cycles earlier, an hour earlier than Chris was doing them, because it gives me the window on a normal month, a regular like average month. I could get the game back up and running by 9:30 because that's all I need. But on a quarterly basis, I need more time to reboot servers, the database servers, make sure everything's up and running in sync. And then, of course, the result of that is what you guys have seen is that the game runs immensely better when the game comes back up after that type of a reset. So what I want to do is get to a point where either every week or every other week, I take an hour to bounce the live server and get the database servers reset. This is good maintenance. It's good practice. It's resiliency. So I'm kind of revealing part of what's on the roadmap for 2024, which is where I was heading with this anyway. Once we get there, this is going to improve the quality of what we're putting out to the players, improving the build cycles, improving the quality of the game, reduce hitching. All this stuff is going to be there. And then when we get on 2021, then there'll even be more improvements that will make the game run smoother as well. This isn't like me sitting here promising all this stuff. I'm saying we're in progress. We're doing these things. So I'm not going to give you a day. I'm not going to give you a month when specific things are done. But we will obviously be having these streams, and putting up in the forums and announcing changes as we are able to put them in place. Once I get past the blocker, the hump in the road right now is getting the ability to schedule my sales and get my login and subscriber rewards in there ahead of time. Um, Once I get there, I have more flexibility. I could have longer dev cycles, and I could start shifting my maintenance into what I really should be doing for maintenance, which will, even though you'll see more often downtime, it will be less downtime. Be supposed to be
Hmm.
smaller windows to get that done. And he said the game as a whole will benefit. Is it'll be even more stable than it is now, and it'll be more responsive. So that's my goal there. So again, I hope I'm not rambling too much, but okay, a couple more things, and yeah, usually I don't talk as much as this, but okay, so bug rewards update. Just to say that the reign of terror of me not doing them is over. Allium has now taken over doing uh, the tedious, horrible legwork of getting all the data and information done together, and I have to say I really, really appreciate it. So I can't say this enough. That her doing that is say it's getting it done on time, and because I don't have the time to get all that done, and then of course on top of that, it's one of those drudgery type of things that it gets to you. So here's hoping that it doesn't get to Allium.
Well, actually, we traded.
Well, yeah,
So you guys got the email saying that the release 123 was out within a day of the release actually happening. This is because I hated doing that task and always put it off.
yep.
So Ravalox did that one immediately.
There you
So
go.
us
So
switching worked very well.
so this could work. As I say, it's just a matter of finding everybody on the team who wants to do a thing and getting things load balanced. So yeah, hopefully that continues on. And of course, all of this feeds everything I was just talking about, and this feeds into making sure that new players come in and see a game that they want to stay and play with, which of course also ties to you guys, the community. So if you see a new player, obviously help them out. Uh, just recently, when I say recently, last night, I had to deal with a situation where there was some harassment going on. One new player who uh, was absolutely playing the game the way it should be played, and was doing their quests, and a handful of other players who just joined yesterday went and were harassing them. So we had to take the appropriate actions. Spoke to them initially, see if I could get them to calm down, but that didn't work. So we do what has to be done to make sure that Shroud of the Avatar is a um, relaxing, pleasant place to go. Whether you want to play the game to kill things, to adventure, explore, do quests, or craft, whatever it is, you should be able to enjoy that. So.
Did the player being griefed speak to you and like kind of enlighten you as to what the situation was and why this was probably going on?
No, of course we have a policy that I can't give too many details that would expose what it is. Offline, we could talk about it, but
Oh, I see.
I will say that the player reported the abuse as they should, right? And then we went and investigated because of course both players, well, the other set of players and this player were reporting each other back and forth, which is a typical thing we see, and raises eyebrows on our side because we're like, okay, this is probably just some BS between some players. But I went over and I checked them out. GM ghosted, put on my communication my community manager hat, and went over there and checked it out as a ghost, and watched for about 5 minutes, and I saw definitely stuff that was like not acceptable. So I actually became visible, talked to them directly in game, and they continued to act like they were 12. So, we suspended them initially, and then they started doing things that when you're on suspension, if you try to get around the suspension, that pretty much brings a ban. So they got
Hmm.
banned. Now, as far as the player who was being the victim in this case, I was able to, without talking to them, I was able to determine otherwise where these bullies were coming from and why it was going on.
Hmm.
So it was a very specific situation, but you know, the point of relaying it here to any degree is to say that we are watching and we do take our players' happiness, seriously. So,
And also, if you abuse the report function, that's just going to draw our attention to you, and you may not like it.
yeah, exactly. So, the game has tools in it. You could block a player, you could ignore players that way. Um, but obviously report people when it's something that can't be avoided. Um, and if we don't respond right away, it doesn't mean that we're not checking logs and figuring things out afterwards. Obviously, the best situation is first person observation, but it's still a situation where we don't want that type of I said that type of toxicity is not welcome here. Period.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
not conducive to keeping players. Believe me,
Mhm.
I've quit playing games where griefing was allowed to such an extent that it just ruined my
Mhm.
experience with even being in their world, and so I left and never came back.
Yep.
We don't want that.
No,
Never want.
absolutely, absolutely. And actually, Submarine Mike says we need a dev jail, and that is absolutely 100% true. Um, back in the day, and I say back in the day, we're talking like 97, 98. In Ultima Online, if you got suspended, you could still log into the game, but you were in a jail cell. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't teleport away. You couldn't recall nothing.
Interesting.
So of course, it's just saying, well, you might as well not log in and play because there's nothing you could do, just sitting in a jail cell. The jail was actually located in what the players affectionately, and I'm assuming the devs, called Green Acres. So the Ultima Online map is a square, but the map itself is really somewhat something of a rectangle, and off on the side is a big black area which all the dungeons were built in. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, there was actually a small, well, I'm off screen, a small swath of green. When you went there, it was huge. It was like as big as our decoration station. It was just big,
Wow.
giant, flat green. That's it, nothing else. And in the middle of all that, they put jail cells. So uh, the as at least that's how I remember it. The jail cells might have been in the black area, but I can't remember in the void, as it were. But I think that was great. I like that. In fact, I know that Laney has a jail system currently located in one of our scenes. So when we were battling the issues over in East Reach Gap, and because there was some bad behavior going on over there, some players were actually sent to a jail cell per se. So that's a slight tech change needs to be made to for us to basically create a scene where people can't use um, they can't use spells, they can't they can't do anything. So I want to try. This is me. I want to try to duplicate that. I want to have the Ultima Online jail cell type of scenario in there. The one difference, and I know that some players have asked for this, is that when people do get in trouble like that, they'd like to be able to go visit them in jail. And I don't know if we would do that or not. I'm not sure if that would actually be conducive to our terms of service because the rules are there that we don't want to call out players. Players are not allowed to call out other players. If you call other players names on your stream, in game, whatever, that's a violation of terms of service. And so we don't want to be, doing something that would be considered doing the same thing. But having people able to, not have to lock them out for a suspension, um, of the game would be, I think, a little bit more entertaining for the devs, that they'd be able to log in and then just show up in a jail cell that they can't get escape from. But
Well,
um,
and heck, even outside of entertaining, I mean, I've heard the argument before. Well, I mean, we should allow for griefing in our games. I mean, after all, that can happen in real life. It's like, well,
mhm.
uh, if we're going to go all the way and be a real life simulator, that's what jails are for.
Right, right, exactly,
Now,
yeah.
those exist in real life too, and
Mhm.
you don't get to just get out of them easily.
Yep,
Sorry.
exactly. So let's see, where was I? Blah 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 blah. Oh, so okay, so I've talked about in the past that there's going to be a second and third tier of subscriber plans, and also that we would turn on the web store during these streams. My intention, my hope was that this stream would have been the first stream, that would have been the case, and that we would have had everything up and running. However, Taslow was sick.
Mm.
As I'm sure a lot of you know, that the flu's going around, and it's apparently a pretty nasty version, excuse me, strain of the flu, and Taslow got hit with it. So the period of time he was supposed to be working on that, he was sick. So he just actually 3 days ago, I think, no, Sunday, yeah, Sunday he and I talked, and he's trying to get back into the swing of things, and I told him where the top priorities were, which of course was to get the subscriber tiers set up on the website, so that way we could start getting that done. The game is not about to go under. We've all seen it. Again, we have detractors out there, and even though we're not Portalarium, none of that stuff carried over to Catnip, and now I'm taking the helm, and I'm telling you that you know, we're doing what we say we're going to do. We're not trying to steal anybody's money. We're not doing any nefarious stuff. Um, but we need to be able to get enough income to make sure the game runs and that we could pay the devs. So obviously supporting the game. Um, yeah, exactly. People have been saying that the game's going under for 10 years, and it's
Yeah.
funny because like the thing I was just talking about earlier, which I can't really go into too much more detail about, I observed them saying that this game would be gone in 5 months. So and I have a feeling that those people don't even know that this game has been here for 10 years. They probably just discovered it and then just said, nah, it's not going to survive. And it's just, obviously, we've been able to beat those odds for 10 years, and I suspect that we will be able to beat those odds for another 10 years. At least that's my hope. So, as I said, you guys supporting us is what keeps the game around. So the subscriptions are the lifeblood of the game. It's a free-to-play game, so and we are definitely, it was like, we don't have paywalls. Um, Not for episode one, and I want to stress that is that the main game is episode one. That is the game. Anything else we're adding on after that is an expansion. So there are folks obviously who have pledges, who already have access to episode two, and then three when we start working on that. But the main game is the main game. So new players that come along, if they want to get access to the new lands and new content, then yeah, they're going to have and $19 is a nominal fee, especially right now. I don't think that once the episode two is completely done, it's not like we're going to charge $100 for it or anything like that. Uh, Shroud the Avatar, under all management phases, or eras, has been extremely uh, player friendly as far as the free to play aspect of things. So the amount of crafting and recipes, we have stuff that is on the table, Scotty and I know about, that we can't say a word about right now. That there's going to be something that's going to go in the Crown Store, and there's a recipe already being worked on for that too. So there's a different version that'll have a recipe, and so it's not like we stopped doing that. The stuff that goes into the Crown Store does help us, but it's not. it's not going to keep the lights on just by that. So having the subscriptions is definitely something that will help doing the game. So getting the second and third tiers, which will give you guys a little bit of a ramp up on the kodos. So right now you get 900 kodos for $9. It'll be 2,000 kodos for $18. And I'm not going to quote the number of kodos for the third tier, but I think I'm trying to do the same, thing. So it would be, triple, so it would be $27, and I think. It'll be at least 3,000 codes, but I got to figure out what that is. That's why I don't want to keep that blurry for the moment. The second tier is my goal, having the structure in place for second and third tier, and then I could turn on the third tier at will after we just have a conversation internally to make sure that the ratios are right and all that stuff. So, but that's gonna be a big first step there. Then plus turning on the web store so that during these streams, the cash shop will be there. They'll have really good prices, and obviously there'll be existing items and that type of thing. But the theory of operation there is that they'll be attractive to buy them for cash as opposed to pay for the kodos. So they should be cheaper than the kodos would cost you in the store. So again, a little math has to be worked out. I have to chart things, and then there's a ton of work to reactivate that store and adjust all the prices in all of the, well, I'll say thousands because I'm pretty sure we have a few thousand items up on that web store. Not to mention that we have to populate all the items that have been created since the web store was taken down. So that way you guys have the opportunity to get newer stuff too. Pretty much that was everything that I had planned, and there you go. We're at 2 hours, so unbelievable. So anything you guys want to talk about? Sorry about this. I really I didn't really think I'd be talking that much during the stream. So
Yes,
Well-
Serenia, we do need some sort of craftable toilet.
yeah, good point.
Where did that come from?
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
You asked if anyone wanted to talk about anything, and you got a question.
Hey, you guys take it for a second. I'll be right back. I want to show something.
Is
Oh,
that a question that popped up?
Yes, in the Twitch chat.
Like based on an outhouse we have already, they want a craftable one. Was there not one already?
We do have a couple of fancy porcelain indoor toilets, one with flowers and one with blue geometric shapes. But there are no nice indoor toilets that are craftable and just plain undecorated.
Oh, okay. And they're not wanting something that is more like a real medieval toilet, right?
No, we actually do have a toilet. What are we looking at here?
We are looking at it. That is exactly what this is. This is a toilet.
It's an old toilet.
Yep.
Yeah, the kind that, like, literally the little water closet box.
This is actually a family heirloom. So I'm gonna see if I could do this without killing myself or it. But as you can see, it opens up and then arms for the seat. There's a little cover for the container, as it were. Right?
I really hope that has been cleaned.
Oh yeah, no, this is it is. Trust me. Yeah, you would put this is they say it's a bucket. You have a bucket to piss in, and that's what they would do. Put a bucket in here.
It's kind of like, I mean, it was either that or it was literally a water closet that had a built-in seat with a hole that just led out into the moat.
And you would hang your furs there.
Yeah.
So Scottie, maybe I'll have to bring this down with me. And this will be because that could be this could be an ornate version. I mean, you probably can't see it on the out of breath on the camera, but there's all sorts of ornate carvings and stuff around the whole thing. So
there's a basic prefab of a plain wooden toilet that's used for world building, like in jail cells and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so we could definitely do a plain version and an ornate version. of an inside an indoor toilet like that, indoor outhouse, as it were.
But what's the building style of the one they want? Do they want something more modern, like the ones that apparently you
Yeah,
see in some
the
fancy?
fancy ones in the store. If you'll just open the store and show the existing toilet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh,
Store. Come on, open up. Yeah. So which one? The fancy or well?
Yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, it's just the flowers I think
But
on.
yeah, I don't know if Scotty can see this right now though.
No, I can't.
yeah, I cannot.
Do the
Unless
3D
you're-
preview and I'll take a screenshot and stick it in the channel.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
There.
make that bigger, please.
How do I make it bigger?
Drag the corner of the window.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
No, not that one.
No.
The preview window.
Oh, hey, I don't know. I only run the thing. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There. Okay.
Do you? Oh, you're putting it in the.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Mattermost, I guess.
Yeah. You say all of our toilets right now have plumbing associated with them, right? I mean, not that there's placeable plumbing, but that they, in theory, are attached to water sources.
Yeah, well, it's like the Cobalt radiators. We're just
Oh,
assuming
right.
that there's a system hooked up somewhere.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So the question, guys, is, do you want the craftable toilet to be something like this, or were you looking for like a indoor outhouse type of deal?
I think she was looking for something like this, only without any decoration,
Gotcha. All right.
which should be easy to do.
Would you share it? Where did you share it?
In the live streams channel, with the same place where the prizes were.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, that's very turn of the century modern.
Yeah.
There we go.
And at the time, it was requested of Damon to make another version that didn't have flowers all over it, so it was, less girly.
Yeah. We also have versions of kitchen and bathroom sinks in those two sets, one with flowers and one with the blue geometric shapes.
Hmm.
But we don't have the kitchen sink with the blue geometric shapes, so that one's already missing from a possible set.
Hmm.
I am going to interrupt everybody right now just to say, if you haven't yet, please go say the phrase "chaos in the clover" in game, in any different chat in game, whispers, universal, whatever. We are going to do 2 more drawings because we have gone over another hour. So there you go. More prizings.
Awesome.
All right. So since we're still here bantering, okay. So anyway, um, yeah. So that's where we are with all that stuff, and I'm really hoping. As you can see, I got a lot on the plate, and I'm sure that some of these things are going to extend on into 2025. And I do owe you guys, because I promised it before, some kind of a roadmap. And I'm not going to call it a roadmap anymore. It's a state of the game. So basically, talking about really a lot of what I just said here will be in it. And then the Ravalox. Merrick Dragon says that people want the Ravalox poop box. Thanks.
The
Yeah, no,
Ravalox box.
it's not going to be called that, Merrick. Thank you. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I have actually written out a bunch of stuff. There is a specific thing that I need to get in place before I could publish it, because I have something in there that I want to get done, and I need to discuss it with the resource and see if we're going to be able to come to an agreement. And if so, then that will be in there. And if not, then I'll have to figure out another way of getting that done. But I know I'm being a little blurry, so sorry about that. But if I was going to tell you it all now, I might as well just not write it, right? So, all right. So anyway, bear with us. Everything is under construction as always, which it should be. The game will never be done. We have, geez, I know, we've fixed thousands and thousands of bugs, and we're continuing to improve the game and the quality of life stuff. So, uh, as we get to the point where the old systems are working as they were originally intended, and I'm not talking about things that are not implemented yet, but the way the game is, and then the game will, the new content will continue, and then the less issues there are for us to fix, the more time we could dedicate to new content, new technology, new mechanics, new skills, new all that type of stuff. So that's the thing to keep in mind. All right. I think I blathered on a little bit long, or long enough, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and make the drawings now for hour 2.
And if someone can put up the same info again, I'll read the names again. And then I must flee soon.
Gotcha.
Yep.
No worries.
It'll automatically pop into the channel as soon as the server is done generating the report.
Ah, okay. Awesome.
Yep. 12 seconds. 5 seconds.
Overtime.
Oh no, please, no overtime. Hey, at least I fixed it that way back in the day. We would actually say, "Oh, we're at the top of the hour. We've been blocked." It's now running on a different server. They will never get blocked. So
Oh, nice.
there are so many little things internally that the players don't care about. I got so much done.
How many did you run?
I'm doing 2.
Okay. So wait, one more.
Yep. Yep, there we go. There we go. All right. And my apologies to Lainey for having her or asking her to do Clover paver sets. So, I don't think it's not as bad as some of the stuff I've had in the past where there's separate pieces involved. I actually
Chess set.
What was that?
A chess set.
Yeah, like a chess set. Which actually, this is actually a great example. I've been wanting to fix the chess set for 6 years. Yes, that's right. I'm been working on the project 6 years now.
What's broken about it?
They're delivered individually. They're not in a bag. They should be in a sack, where you click the sack to explode them instead of having all these separate pieces in your inventory show up.
So if you want to use a chess set as, say, a live stream prize, then Lainey ends up having to mail each individual piece.
Oh, wow.
What's that, 25 pieces then, I think, right? Is there 12 pieces per side? I don't remember, but anyway, yeah, you get the idea. Lots of little pieces. So there should be a pick bag per set, a bundle bag for that.
I was just looking at that set the other day. That was one of the very first things I made.
Huh, there you go.
Yeah, sure. I think shortly after I made the dungeon pieces, I made that chess set.
Cool.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the set. It's just the delivery.
Really,
You're fine.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me that thing's broken in some way.
No. Yeah.
Ah,
I mean,
the 2 lists appeared.
Yep, they're there. So yeah, I mean, of course, these conversations are making me think of other things I need to keep my mouth shut, because it's like there's stuff that I want to do. There's things that I've promised I was going to get done. So I will just suffice to say, things I've talked about here today, as to shifting our work cycle, will allow those other things to happen that I'm sure a bunch of you guys will, at least 5 or 6 people out there will have 5 or 6 different things in their head saying, yeah, he needs to go. Yeah, so get this done, get that done. Okay, so what do we want to do? You want me to read names?
Whatever you'd like to do. Do you want me to? I'll read something this time as well. Do you want me to read the prizes first?
Yeah, go ahead and read the prizes. I'll read the names.
All right. The first prize, once again, is the Garden Leprechaun.
And that goes to Nemesis Darkwood and Flaith Nightstalker.
The second prize is, once again, the Leprechaun Bowler Hat with Shamrock.
And that goes to Pop Lancermane and Sunny Moon.
The third prize is the Decorative Pot of Gold.
And that goes to Arthur DeThardis and John Marcus.
The fourth prize is the Tabletop Cherry Blossom Trees.
And that goes to Submarine Mike and Puppy Gaming.
I'd just love to know the stories behind these names. And then last but not least, we have the Clover Paver set.
That is our top prize of the day, and that goes to Falcher Sombre and Chateau Aventari. And congratulations to all the prize winners for the entire stream. And Lainey will be sending those out. If not over the weekend, then early next week. She's usually extremely prompt with those things. So, thank you very much to Lainey for sending out the prizes for us. And with that said, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you wish, I'll end up my time here by quoting a poem from Tolkien.
Sure,
I
go
don't
for
mind.
it.
Part of it, and they get the song for free because part of it is even sung, but not all of it. Some of it is spoken.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep, go for it.
All right. Far over the misty mountains cold. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day, to seek the pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep, where dark things sleep in hollow halls beneath the fells. For ancient king and elvish lord, there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought, and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword. On silver necklaces they strung the flowering stars, on crowns they hung the dragon fire, in twisted wire they meshed the light of moon and sun. Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day, to claim our long forgotten gold. Goblets they carved there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. They lay there long, and many a song was sung unheard by men or elves. The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light. The bells were ringing in the dale, and men looked up with faces pale. Then dragons' ire, more fierce than fire, laid low their towers and houses frail. The mountains smoked beneath the moon. The dwarves, they heard the tramp of doom. They fled their hall to dying fall beneath his feet, beneath the moon. Far over the misty mountains grim, to dungeons deep and caverns dim, we must away ere break of day, to win our harps and gold from here. There you have it.
Excellent. Very good. And John Marcus threw you a leet while you were doing that.
Oh,
So,
thank
So it
you.
wasn't free. You were just ahead of the mark.
yeah.
Thank
Here,
you
I
so
gotta
much.
bring that down there. So,
Well, and with
um,
that, and with the turning of the middle of the hour of 6:30, I must bid you all a fond adieu.
and please, on behalf of everybody at the Shroud of the Avatar community, please say hi and we miss you to Barrick.
I absolutely will. I'll stand up, go in, and I'll tell him that over some fine dinner.
Awesome.
Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful evening and a fantastic upcoming weekend.
You too. See you later.
Yep, bye bye.
Thanks, Scotty.
Good night.
Okay, folks. So with all that said, we'll wrap it up, and I have a raid. We are going to be raiding Libu, and I'll be setting that up right now. Thank you once again for spending a Friday afternoon with us. Um, the rest of the year is going to bring some interesting stuff, I am sure, and we got a good future ahead of us. So stick around. Looking forward to sharing everything with you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hit the raid button, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.